space. Okay, so those of you at the left, we have now got tips and tricks, and it just happens to be a good friend of mine presenter, so yay! And I've been trying to persuade him for about 4 years, and he finally agreed to it. So I'm quite pleased with this.
So this one's all about, Dan spoke earlier about using colour coding. The one thing I've found over the years, or there's been one since implementing Dynamo, about 3 years, is starting with a template. And so this is the template I tend to use. It's based on one that was published on the Dynamo blog in about 2016, where you have different colours to group your nodes so that you know what is where you have inputs, where you have control. Anything orange is where it's going back into Revit. Anything you're still working on is the default green you get when you group it. And then there's some parts at the start where you can just put some information out when you've created the script, what version of Revit, what packages you might use. Because up until the recent Dynamo, you have no idea what packages you are in a script. But like I say, you can't start when you click the new button, there's no way of selecting a template. So these are a couple of methods that I've used over the years. So firstly, a quick link to company standard. So this works in both Dynamo 1.3 and Dynamo 2. Down in the bottom right hand corner of the start screen, you've got this list of basic scripts for examples. What you can do is if you click on the show sample folder, create a new folder in there, it's a template, have it, name the file so it will appear above basic. And in there, just drag and drop your colour scheme. Set it to read only so you don't accidentally save over this when you save. And then when you go back to Dynamo the next time, that will appear in the list, it's at the top, you can just click on it and it opens a brand new script with your colour scheme, ready and waiting for you to create a new script. The second method is one that I find most useful because you often go and start a script and then realise it actually might be useful in the company. It's going to be something you're going to use time again and you need to put this back in but you've forgotten to do it. So for this method I'm going to create a custom node, and because I don't have any code blocks, it's just groups of the note function, you can't create a custom node with just nodes, so we just put a code block in that's blank. You right click on the screen, create a custom node, fill in your properties, and you get a custom node that you can double click on. And then unfortunately you do have to re-add all the colours back into the and regroup everything. You can delete that code block now. And once you've done, just click save. Save the definition in the Dynamo folder where you have all your packages. And the next time you open Dynamo, it will be there in the library. And you can just click on that, you'll put the custom node in, double click and copy and paste the colours from the custom node edit window into your main script. And that's it.
Can I have one thing on that? There's an extension I've released about a month ago called Dynamo Standard. But you don't need to do any of that anymore. It's a rhythm book.
See, that's why I never do these things.
Brendan, you're on next.
You are.
Oh yeah, we can do that instead if you want to.
I've got two really simple ones which half the room might know, the other half maybe not, and then a workflow which I won't take everyone to run through, but if it plays right, we've got a really useful, a really bad video that doesn't play. Sorry.
I think it was
Right, we've got a really useful string node and we want to duplicate it. You click it with control held down and it duplicates it. rather than press Control C, Control V, you can just hold the Control button down, drag and drop, and it duplicates whatever ones you've already got selected. So hopefully that's useful to a few people. We talked about this in our little breakout before. There's a way you can use the Shift button when you've got a load of outputs. So you've got this really useful node going into there, but it now wants to go into this one. You can hold Shift down as you click the outgoing, and it drags all of said connections and friends with it. So they're two dead straightforward ones, and this is something that I've only learned recently, but has helped our practice workflow. It's about placing legends. So you need a few things for this to work. You need a legend in Revit, and it's probably going to be something that you put on every sheet. That's the point of this. You need a series of sheets, and you need about 14 out-of-the-box nodes in order to position a legend in the same place on every sheet, which I spent forever doing manually until I learned how to do this. So first you've got to get all the views in the project by getting categories of views, all elements of categories. Then you filter that, which is what we were doing earlier, to drop all the objects that are null, and look specifically for any of the views that fulfill the criteria of the legend that we're looking for, i.e. equal new legend. Rather than use the equals, I've used a different node that's list first index of, but it does the same thing. I'm using the get item at index node to get me the element ID of that particular legend that you see on the right hand side of the screen. I specify a placement point, which is in millimeters, I believe, from the bottom left. So I specify X and Y, and I need to use a point to do that, but just make beside the point. And then you select the sheets you want to add this legend to. These are the only sheets I've got on my project, so it's dead easy for me. Plug it in, it whirs away for a second, and chucks that legend in the same spot on every sheet. You can imagine if you've got, I don't know, a 20-storey building, same set of legends that you want on all your GAs, you can just specify go to this point on every sheet, and it'll dump them all in the same spot. Saves you messing about doing all that grid or line stuff that everybody's done for the last 15 years.
Did you input the coordinates for where you wanted the
Yes.
node? There is a node somewhere in Dynamo that you can click, you can set a sheet up how you like it, and you click on the where you want the thing placed, and it'll place everything else in the same place.
Thanks.
I can't remember what it's called,
Sure,
I'm afraid.
Template sheet.
It's like
He knows what it's called. What's it called?
Nice background. It's in Lisbon.
That's not my command. So it is actually on the Dynamo website. So I posted it 4 days ago. There's a video, and it brings up this sort of thing. You can trim it down if you want to, and it gives you this content window. So if you list everything in your library, it can show it all, and it's got an about window. Hopefully the video works. Maybe.
I mean, the Wi-Fi is just a bit slow.
Yeah. Might be best not to show this here. So that's it in the arrow. So you can get it to show a company standard if you want. Oh no, that's the readme of how to set it up. Then the about page, the old about page. Now it checks on the web if it's up to date. So you can have your company standard linked directly to it. Then templates, which you just click and it opens it up. And if you notice it's already in manual mode and it's a new page, so it's not opening an existing, it's automatically putting it as a new file. Then the next part is Python templates. So now you can automatically put Python code into a Python node on your script. So choose what you want, tell it whatever set you want, click apply, and it will automatically limit all the notes you want. And you can either do it on selected ones or all. It reads wherever you put the paths on the server. It's just showing you that they're all different because I've selected them differently. So, yeah. Past that bit, just showing you the different techniques. Like one of them is selecting it by a category if you want. Then that's the other way. Then the other one is the actual library. So this reads all your Dynamo files on the server. So you select one, and if you fill in your graph right, it can extract this data directly out of your graph as well. So if you put your note, you code the note text or something like that, I think it's called, it automatically reads that straight from there. And then you can tell it to open, and it'll open it as a new file. And it's all there. That's the setting file. So there's a setting file that you've got to fill everything in. So how your graph standard is, and then at the top is where everything's saved on the server. And then there's a Python template option, because I showed 3 different options of how you can do it. You can choose one if you want, set it up, and then it changes the menu. Yeah. And the other part of it, we'll do that, is there's a way to set all scripts to manual automatically, and the extension does it for you now. Of course, some people may know it's Visual Studio in the background. So automatically when you click new, it automatically sets it to auto. So I've got this is when I was going through the add-on creation. You open it up, once you've set everything up, create new, it now sets it to manual. Of course, there's 2 ways you can set all scripts to be manual or just new. Because you may have some scripts that are auto, you want them to be auto, but there's a setting in there that changes. So you tell it to be all, and any script that is open will automatically be set to manual no matter what. So you open your test file and it's now set to manual automatically.
Good,
And
thank you.
it's that's the page. All the info.
Is it an AXA?
What? It's a DLL. All you have to do is, it's on the Dynamo website, oh no, probably best not to come read the README, that README, and it'll give you all the info that you may need. It's a full 10-page document. Yeah.
Put your email address at the end for our questions.
I don't think I did put the email on purpose.
I think